Okay, I'm gonna try to wait to see if anybody gets in here, and we're gonna have a nice little conversation. Trying to give it a few, at least one or two people pop in. But yeah, I'm pretty sure by now a lot of people's noticed how bare the page is. We're going to get into the subject of why that is. There was a video. An individual last night chose to do a live. They took advantage of not only me, but what I've been saying on my page, and a disadvantage that I have yet to figure out of how to use to pull up your screen on StreamYard and pull up what's on your screen, mirror the screen, or whatever. I hadn't figured out how to do that. Well, this individual decided to use what was said in a video. I brought up Larry Nasser, the incident where the FBI refused to act when victims were going to the FBI with intel information. They turned their back in Indianapolis and allowed a serial child predator to go on to do what he wanted to do for years. This individual chose to do a live last night, and on that live, wanted to go on at the very end how they said they got this information. They started talking about it. Well, when I heard this guy talking about this and this incident, and oh my God, it was like a divine intervention that dropped in his lap. Joe Lewis watched my video, True Crime Night, then chose to do his live where it was only, oh, look what I found. Look at me. Look what's in it for me. You give your shout outs to your subscribers, your memberships, new memberships on the live, the donors. Every penny you are making sure to do the shout out. But when it comes to where you got the information, you're no better than Matt Sullivan and Frank. Trust me, like the messages I got with Frank. Tell me everything. Trust me. Oh, so you're from Kokomo? Oh, so you're the FBI informant people's been talking about? Yeah, on Karina's case. If you're going to use context that comes from my page for your own benefit, for your own good, make your own pages. Matt Sullivan, do you want me to go through every message I had with you where you're talking about, trust me, I'm a private investigator, you can trust me with anything? It won't leave us. Like Frank saying, I don't even know your name. I never seen this. I won't bring it up unless you want me to. You want me to do a video about this? Back in 2022, I still have those messages, Frank. That, and when you ask me, do I have a problem with you? I brought up a few individuals go back into in around a certain drug ring and troubled community, among with many other names, in around the drug ring around Indianapolis. And I even looked at you. It's not so much the problem with you, it's the ones that you are associated with and your friendships. Meth dealers, suspects have been down there with murder, robberies, violent felons that go back in around the same exact drug ring. I told you exactly, it's not you that I had the problem with, it's the ones you're associated with and you're friends with. A couple of them I knew. And it was only after I'd been talking about this that a few from my past that chose the drug life, back school friends, hometown friends, people I grew up with, I seen a lot of them go into that. I chose the other direction, didn't want to be anything near them. But it was here lately. I've been noticing a few of these individuals. I brought up a few names to you. It wasn't only until I started speaking up about this ring, Karina's case, where the ring shows up around her case, the FBI was knowledgeable about this. It's just my 1023 informant files, as it sits right now. Karina McClurkin, the ones involved with hers, down to the firefighter. The FBI knows all this. The driver that picked her up from when I last seen her. For over a year, message after message between me and this agent. I'll come up next week. I'll come up like a few days from now. Come up, get you on record, get it to the criminal investigation unit. But over all these, one thing I kept hearing was him talking about the next year or two he's planning to retire. He was seeing how big this case was and what I was building and what I was seeing, and he was making comments like I can't, uh, little jokes of this is such a big case. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to retire when I want to retire if I take something like this on. His comments that he knew the corruption going on within Kokomo and the surrounding areas. FBI knew about it. They've been knowing about it for years. It's on the back burner, as he says, brewing. If you know about the corruption, you know about the issues that are going on, and it's causing lives to be taken. Why did you refuse to act, FBI? Knowing there's corruption going on, and I guarantee you, if you know about the corruption, you know about the RICO issues that are going on within this cartel ring that's been able. And this has been going on since I was a child. There's going to be one other live tomorrow, and I'm going to be dark for a little bit. But that live tomorrow, we're going to go into some deeper subjects and a lot longer. But we're going to expose a certain individual, like Matt Sullivan, Frank. They say they're justice for these kids, for these victims. You've got a victim themselves speaking up for the ones that no longer are allowed to speak for themselves. I've been told by individuals within this drug ring that, oh, I'm attacking every user, every convict. I'm not. I'm attacking the ones that are now sitting right now in documents within the Delphi files, in around this drug ring, in around and shown their criminal network, that they're involved with, dealers, users alike, all pretty much putting themselves in a little Easter basket of look at us. You can find all of our little webs, our little tentacles on one little basket if you know where to look and how to look. We are all connected. We are associating with each other. Think about it, how you need beepers, and if you're lucky to get to a phone back in the day, even dealers. It's no longer back in the 1990s or anything like that. We're in the 2024. So instead of changing phone numbers, hey, find me on this alternate Facebook account under this name and add me. If you need anything, contact me. And here's the code words of how much you need and what you need. They're doing that. So you have dealers actually talking with their users, their customers, using social media. Then you got the family kingpin families that are involved higher up, along with the elected officials that are actually helping these individuals stay hidden. Do you think they're going to do it the hard way or easy route where they can keep in communications with each other? But hands down, it's the whole fact of, it irks me when you're a victim yourself. And how I became a victim was I've got upper left jaw, from the nose down to the gum, broken. There's a crack from the nasal, lower orbital socket. It's broken 3 different places in the orbital socket. It needs uh, plates and screws from a physical attack I sustained 2 days after that attack. And even the doctors were looking at me. The structures and everything that was broken, that wasn't a sucker punch. They had to have a small pipe or something heavy and metal or something heavy enough. And like they said, a fist against that wouldn't cause that kind of damage. It had to be something big enough and heavy enough and have enough force behind it. That had to be an object. They only see these kind of injuries from jaw fractures breaking and nasal issues being broke and orbital socket being broke like that during head-on collisions, blunt force trauma. Even they were saying it was blunt force trauma and it was not a fist. But 2 days after that, I was pretty much hobbling my way down to a gas station. I had my cane in one hand, I had a stroller in the other with a baby. I think she was probably, what, 8, 9 months old at that time. Toddler sitting right in that stroller. Her mom was at the house doing some things, so I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take her down, get us a drink, uh, get her a snack, get her sister a snack, and her my ex's sister, well, her auntie, a snack for when they got home, and get her a snack. Let her pick out one while we were down there. On our way back, an individual tried swerving, hit me on the road. We just got out, went to go cross the road. Well, he swerved over, did the hand gesture of shoot me, and sped off. Next thing I know, we're turning on the road. It was the back road from ours, so it wasn't Walnut, it was the next street over. And with his issues, I couldn't get to the alleyway like I was going to take, so I was going to ditch into the alleyway that leads to the back of our house by taking the back road, hoping he didn't see me, knowing what road I was living on. His mom lived right in front of me. I chose the back road. I was going to hit the back alley the next block and dip into the alley. Well, he drove past, seen me walking the road behind us, and ended up turning in. And at the time, there just so happened to be a van. Didn't realize it until afterwards. It was a friend of me and my ex's and the toddler's mom. Like my ex, we made friends with a employee she had at Speedway. His roommate, her son, and the roommate we were friends with, and met her through my ex. We watched her kid a few times. The whole kit and caboodle, became good friends. That was the van that turned in behind him. They said they end up having to pretty much literally use their van and push him, literally rear end him, to get him from fully swerving into us. Wait a second, I got somebody private calling me. And don't do what, Pink Panther? I've been talking. Wow. I'm sorry I had to do that, but yeah. Don't do what? Speak the truth? I've had 7 years to talk. That's what you wanted to say? Really? The whole 7 years I've been talking. Nothing but. But there's people using my information that's coming from my page for their own benefit, for their own subs. I'm getting moderate donations. not even from the United States. They're using information people like me, Pink Panther, that you're supporting, you're backing, and telling me not to do what I'm about to do. This is why this page went dark. It's people like you, and it's ones like him. Do you see BG making him a threat? I'm gonna see you soon. You can't hide behind a keyboard when I do. But hands down, Joe Lewis, you chose your actions last night. You yourself said where you got the information, where you made your live all about, oh, look what I found, look what I know. Let's make it all about me. Let's show the people, like, look what I found, look what I did. You yourself, at the very end of your own life, I watched a guy and he was talking about Larry Nasser, this incident, everything going on, the FBI and the connections, and you go and make a live all about everything that was on that live video. And then you got an individual like Pink Panther coming on my page telling me not to speak out, not to tell the truth. When Matt Sullivan, Frank, now you, now I see why individuals are having an issue with you. I've never chose to attack anybody or go on the defensive and actually speak out. But when I seen it live last night, you yourself admitted to your donors, all your members. I've got 2. Thank God for the 2. It's taken me since I very started my page till now. I'm finally able to get my first 100 out. It's never been about the money. It's always been about the justice for victims like me. I'm a victim myself, speaking up on behalf of the other victims. So when you guys are attacking me saying, oh, it's not, oh, I don't want justice for the other victims, the victims in play, by all means, I'm for the victims. I'm victim centered, and I've been speaking the truth from the very, very first video of this page. The very first video, the Fight for Justice page. Before I chose to get and try to get a voice on here to save my own life and other lives around me. On the ones I've seen, their lives being taken from this troubled community, there's over 70 cases Indiana-wise, 19 of which are kids. But hands down, like you guys just told, like seeing Pink Panther tell me, don't do it, shut up. You've had 7 years to talk. You guys can back me up. You guys seen that right there, and you see why I just deleted them off my page. I've had 7 years to talk. Their own words, and that's Joe Lewis's. Little goons. That's their mindset. I've had 7 years to talk. It's his time to be all about him, all eyes on him. He's going to talk from here on. He's going to try to give a voice to the victims like me and try to get justice. Not knowing. Sorry, somebody keeps